Oh, got the stream all sorted there. I'll go to Twitch real quick and make sure that's running. Okay. Which it is. Very good. Alright. Where is that Mercedes driver? Is he coming? It says I was right. Oh, there we go. Now we got 20 on the grid. Another good sized grid, full grid compared to last night. But just 2 more pretty much. Okay. Should be all set to go, I would say. Alright, there's the call there for sparring. Everyone's now getting told to ready up. Hello everyone and welcome to round 2 of the America's Formula Performance Series here on Race Spec Esports on K1997. Your commentator for this race, and this time we are racing at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. Opened in 1978, has been the home of the Canadian Grand Prix for Formula 1 ever since then. Lying on the St. Lawrence River, located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, what lies one of the tightest and technical tracks as well on the F1 calendar of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Has a total distance of 2.7 miles and 14 corners and 3 DRS zones. One that leads down the main straightaway towards turn 1. The other ones are the exit of turn 7, leading up to the chicane of turn 8, and then the exit of the hairpin of turn 11 and the kink of 12 to the casino straight lead into the wall champion chicane of turns 13 and 14. Track limits, though, probably will be the biggest factor in this race, as I saw from last night in Pacific Open Series Tier 1. Penalties can be a common occurrence because of track limits, so drivers will have to be very mindful of the penalties for sure. You don't want to have that costing you in this race. But knowing this place, though, we could see quite a bit of drama. That is to be said as well. Montreal is known for having a little bit of drama here and there as well, but we'll see how everyone gets through here tonight. But before we go fully focusing into qualifying, there is some news to go through first from the previous race at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. There was only one report that came out, and it was an incident involving Harm Assist and Tom that occurred at the first 2 turns, where Harmison spun out because of the contact made between him and the Alfa Romeo. As a result of the incident, Tom was given a 10-second time penalty and 2 license points, but because of how big the gaps were in that race, the final results from that were completely unchanged. In the Drivers' Championship, currently it's Coral that leads the way on 30 points, followed by Tom in second with 23, Sergeant Bill in third with 20, and then Star Harmony in fourth with 17, and Professor Phil rounds off the top 5 with 15 points. In the Constructors' Championship, Alpine lead on 35 points, followed by Williams in second with 32, Alfa Romeo in third with 28, Ferrari in fourth with 17, along with Red Bull rounding out the top 5. But that's it in terms of the news. We can now fully go into this qualifying session here. Full-size grid, that's very nice to see. Of course, Sparty just putting that in the freaking Discord. Lovely. Yeah, mentioning about how much I hate full qualifying. I don't necessarily hate full qualifying. I just think it's not right to go against something that's already been implemented. But anyway, we'll ride along with Craig as he'll give us a lap guide of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Give you a proper tour of the racetrack. Down towards turn 1, actually, I forgot to do one more thing. Silly me, I forgot to change this to miles an hour. Had it at kilometers an hour from the last race. There we go, up towards turns 3 and 4. Fourth gear short shifting up to 5th, clipping all the curve as best as he possibly can. Up towards turns 6 and 7. Down to 3rd gear, hugs the inside apex of turns 6 and 7. Short shifts up to 4th on the exit. And then opens the DRS heading up towards 8 and 9. Big speed from McLaren at 192 miles per hour. Down to 5th. Oh, that's a bit of a missed apex there at turn 8. Had to use all the curve there at turn 9. Up towards now the hairpin of turn 11. Brings it down to goodness me. I was going to say 3rd. He went down to 2nd gear. Then short shifts the gears from 3rd to 4th. As Harmony's got a 5-place grip penalty for a collision with Take Her Easy, apparently. Up towards now the Wall of Champion chicane and misses completely turn 13. Yeah, you got to be very careful how you negotiate turns 13 and 14. And yeah, I do agree with that, Coral. It does take quite a long time for qualifying. I do completely agree. But anyway, yeah, Craig's lap time wasn't validated, so yeah, his lap obviously won't count. Travad looks like he'll be going again. We'll still wait to see anyone that has set a lap time. Only 4 minutes into the quali session. Let's see, Country Don and the Aston Martin coming around the final chicane. There's his teammate in front. Funny B about to start a lap. Don puts the first time on the board. It's a 113.2 for the Aston Martin driver. Subfly, meanwhile, beats that with a 112.2. And, yeah, I think that's about it at the moment. Let me see if I can find anyone that's closer. I think we got an AlphaTauri coming up to the line about now. I guess to start a flying lap. Williams, that's crossed the line very shortly. That might be Surf in the Williams. It's good to see him back. I think it's been a while since I've seen Surf on the grid, if I remember correctly. Pretty quick driver, if I remember as well, on some occasions. Yeah, up towards now the first set to clock same for him. It's a 19.9. Remember as well, if you're just new to this series, it is form of performance, meaning that this is unequal performance. So the cars that everyone's racing in basically are not equal to what you would see normally in league racing. 2 more times came on the board there. Lil Mick did an 11.3. Take Her Easy at a 12.0. As the Williams of Surf heads around the hairpin of turn 11. Liquido goes to 4th with a 112.5. Down towards the Casino Straight as Tom now goes to the top of the 111.1. Very good time there from the Alpha driver. Surf will head up towards the end of the chicane, up towards the start finish line. Opening the DRS down the main straightaway. We'll cross the line and we'll set a 111 flat. Nice time there by the Williams driver. Only about just a tenth ahead up top. Oh, that's a car getting out of the way there. That was a Mercedes, I believe. Or a Red Bull, I believe. No, that was a Red Bull, excuse me. For a brief moment on my eyes, I thought it was a Mercedes. Then I looked at the blue dot. Honeybee, that's just doing a lap at the moment. Sergeant Bill doing a lap as well, by about to start one. Coral, last week's race winner at Barcelona, coming around the chicane of 3 and 4, now to turn 6. Clock time for him is a 19.8. About a tenth quicker than what his teammate did to the first sector as he heads around turn 7 up towards now turn 8. There's a teammate there getting out of the way of Surf through the chicane of 8 and 9, clovering all the curbs. And up towards turn 11. Again, purple to the middle sector. That McLaren I don't think was in the greatest position to park. Trying to get out of the way. I understand he's trying to get out of the way, but that kind of is a bit distracting when you have a car that's close to the apex. Especially of a tight right-handed hairpin. Up towards now the chicane of turns 13 and 14. Down to 5th. And gets through there very nicely. May have brushed the wall just a little bit. Crosses the line. Will set at a 1:11.060. 15 thousandths quicker than his teammate. So it's a Williams 1-2 and an Alfa Romeo 3 and 4. It's now in 6th position with 11.8 at the moment. Still got 3 times yet to set on the board there. That being Sparry J. That's Harmy, who, speaking of which, who's on the medium compound tire, is about to end his flying lap very shortly. Up towards now the chicanes of 13 and 14, or chicane of 13 and 14. Clobbers a lot of the curve. I was like, couldn't get that out of my mouth. Clobbered a lot of the curve there. It turns 13 and 14, and yeah, he's invalidated this and the next lap, so this lap won't count either. Sorry, heading up towards now turn 11, more yellows. Again, sector 3, but that's kind of been cleared, it looks like. Somewhat. Still saying yellow flags sector 3. For more cars that are just parked or just doling around at the casino straight. DRS wide open for Sparty, heading up towards turn 13 and 14. Alpine getting out of the way. And up to the chicane of 13 and 14. Probably took that a little bit more cautiously than I expected. Sparty across the line will go to PA with a 1:12.0 in the Ferrari. Jay, hey up towards turns 3 and 4. Yellow flags at sector 3. It's more just cars just doling around, it seems. Up towards now the first sector. Clock saying for Jay, he's at a 19.9 to the first sector. Hanging through turns 6 and 7. Apparently purple according to the minimap as well. Up towards now turn 8 and 9. Open the DRS, hanging up towards the chicane. Entry speed about 185 miles per hour. Brings it down to 4th, gets it there very good. Up towards now the second sector split. Clock saying for him he's at a 42.5. I think with the time he's looking at, he probably will be somewhere in the top 5, I reckon. Maybe close to it. We'll have to wait and see. His teammate right now is in 6th, so I think the time he's doing might be slightly quicker than that, but we'll wait and see. Up towards now the chicane. Up turns 13 and 14. Clobbering all the curbs. Gets it there, okay. Opens the DRS. He'll cross the start-finish line. It's P4 for Jay with a 1:11.364. And Tom's got an Aston Martin that he's going to get a tow from, it seems. He was up by 13 thousandths to the middle sector, and he's going to get a tow from one of the Astons, who doesn't proceed to get out of his way for whatever reason, and we'll head across the line and will improve by 56,000. Very interesting how that happened. Fastest in the final sector, but yeah, I wonder who that was exactly. That probably was Country Dawn, I imagine. Yeah, it was Country Dawn that he was following. Let's see. Lil Mick. He's on a flyer. Tom, yeah, I just mentioned he already finished his lap. Coral's on an out lap. Or, sorry, Surf is on an out lap. Coral is in the pit lane, I should say. Let's see. Nander heading through turn 2. Up towards now turns 3 and 4. Sector 2 and 3 yellow flags. Nander coming up towards the first sector. Clock saying he's up by just about a tenth and a half to the first sector. Up towards now turns 8 and 9 with the DRS wide open. Up towards turns towards the third chicane, I should say. Now into the hairpin at turn 11 he comes. Clock's saying for him he's up by just 0.2 of a second, just over 0.2 of a second. That sort of improvement could, maybe if he can find more time in that final sector, he can find his way into the top 6, at least. Up towards now turns 13 and 14. And up to the line comes Nander, will set a 1:11.7. He actually lost time in that final sector. He does not improve his position. He just improves on his time. Surf up by a tenth of a second to the first sector. Now just up by, well, a little bit more than that. He's found about 10 thousandths to the middle sector, according to the minimap, or to the sector times, I should say. He will definitely be his teammate as long as he can keep this lap tidy. About 5.5 minutes to go as well here in qualifying. And this is a short qualifying, I should add, not full qualifying, thank goodness. And Surf crosses the line, improves by about 2.2 in that final sector. 2.5 in that final sector. He improves by 3.5 to a 1 minute 10.728. Solid lap indeed. Let's see, Craig up towards turns 13 and 14, goes back into pit lane, so he's not going to improve. I think we're now in a bit of a lull period from what it looks like it seems. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's doing much of anything. Just waiting for at least the last 4.5 minutes to be finished, of course. And we'll get into the race. That probably is just one of the McLarens running out of fuel there, I assume. Or maybe that was just take it easy, just trying to warm up his tires. There the yellow flags were about where he was. With 4 minutes on the clock, he will have time to do maybe 2 laps. Say if he does mess up his first run, he can try again on his second. We'll see what the McLaren driver will do here. He's currently P12 with a 1:12.0. As he will get ready to start what could be his final lap, or maybe one of 2. We'll wait and see. Up towards... No, actually, he is not going to. So he's just doing a preparation lap, and then he'll do an actual flying lap. And not many drivers do that sort of technique anymore. They kind of just do what Lil Mick is doing. Brake and accelerate at the same time. For any of those that you don't know what that means, it basically, well, what's coded into the game is that the way that braking and accelerating does at the same time is that the brake temperature builds temperature into the tire's carcass. As, who was that Mercedes? That was Miles. Just stopping briefly. But yeah, it builds into the tire's carcass. That's basically how you build up the tire temperature into this game. Laquio disqualified for facing the wrong way. What has happened here? How on earth has he done that? He's stopped at the apex of turn 2. Literally just stopped. How the hell have you done that, Liquido? Interesting. Whether he was trying to get out of the way and couldn't, or I have no clue. Anyway, Lil Mick up by a 10,000th of a second to the first sector, heading up towards the second DRS straight, towards 8 and 9. We'll head up towards the chicane, fourth gear up to fifth, up towards turn 11. Clock saying for Lil Mick. He's now found about nearly half a tenth to the middle sector. It will improve on his time, but I think at this rate, he won't necessarily gain a position unless he can find something in his final sector. If he does, he needs a really good final sector in order to get ahead of serve. Down the main straightaway, up towards the start-finish line. Is it going to be an improvement? It is an improvement on his time, but like I said, it wasn't enough to gain a position. Coral has now started his final flying lap as he heads through turns 1 and 2. Tom and Surf also getting ready for their flying laps very shortly as well. Take her easy, goes to PA with a 1:11.736. Nander is up by just over a tenth of a second to the first sector. And Tom is coming up to turns 3 and 4. What will the clock say for him? Clock saying for him in the first sector, he's up by 8 thousandths. Coral to the second sector though. What will his time be? He's up by 3/10 of a second. He's found a whole heap of time in that middle sector. But his teammate has found time as well. He's up by 75 thousandths as Jay is retired from the session. He will not go further forward into qualifying. That's it. And the best he could hope for, well, for now, is P6, because Nander has improved to P2 with a 1:10.9. Surf up by 56 thousandths. Is Coral going to get ahead of his teammate here? He can, for now, with a 1:10.635. But Surf is still up on his time. I think he could briefly just get ahead of Coral, but we'll wait and see. Tom up to the line. He goes to P2 with a 1:10.671. Subfalam goes to P6 with a 1:11.3. Surf cannot beat his teammate. He can't even beat Tom either. He stays P3 with a 1:10.690. Sergeant Bill heading up towards the start-finish line, opens the DRS. Can he find any time for him? He does, to a 1:11.4. PA for Sergeant Bill. And I think with that, that's it for qualifying, from what it looks like. It's Carl in pole position. I think if I remember, he got pole last week as well. So he's 2 for 2. Or was it, wait, was it this series or was it America series I'm thinking of? That explains a little bit. Jay said on the Discord that he ran to the wall at the exit in the pits. I see, so he must have done a Yuki Tsunoda. That's a big rip. And that is the results of your qualifying session. Cora will start on pole position here for the Canadian Grand Prix. Beats out Tom by 36 thousandths of a second. About just over half a tenth between the top three as well. Surf falls out in P3. Nander in P4. Then it's Lil Mick in 5th. Subfalim, JM, Sergeant Bill, Craig, Professor Phil, Take Her Easy, Honeybee, Sparty, Chova, Style Harmony, who has a 5-place grid penalty that he got for the collision between him and Take Her Easy. So he'll start from 20th. Bola 16th, Country Dawn, Grapner, Milestrike, and Laquita, but Laquita will jump up a place, so everyone else behind Star Harmony, of course, will jump up a place. Cloudy conditions. Alright, cloudy conditions here for this race. And I think we have formation lap on, if I remember correctly from last week. I think it's going to be the same story for this one. So, well, maybe a good chance of rain, perhaps? I kind of thought there would be last night in Open Series Tier 1, but there wasn't really any rain that came in. Laquita's left the session. Oh dear. Probably suffering a bit of internet issues, I assume. Let me see if I can invite him back. Just gonna go through my friends list. He should be on my friends list. Unless he's not appearing online, then I don't know what to do about that. Where are you? Oh, I can't go that far. Damn. Yeah, because I don't see him on my friends list. Well, nope, I don't see him. Sorry, man. You're on your own on that, because I do not see you. Yeah, the one thing you need to do if you're in that sort of situation, you want to be appearing online in case if anyone needs to invite you back. Because yeah, as you saw with my EA friends list, I couldn't go any further than going through the Fs for anyone that's offline. Yeah, I remember last game. I remember that whole thing didn't even work for me, like, whatsoever. Yeah, was just completely broken. Yeah, because I guess, like, in 22, it was like, if you had a friends list that was, like, less than, I want to say either 50 or 100, something like that. Like, it will show your friends list, but any more than that, the friends list would be, like, blank or something. I don't know. It was something. It was just stupid. Yeah, it was just stupid. Laquita has joined back. That's good. I'm guessing that was the main reason we haven't gone into the race yet, is because we're waiting for Laquita. Jeez, feel like I'm waiting an eternity just to wait for this. Alright. There we go, and now we're getting the formation lap underway. I see quite a bit of medium tires. Let's see what we're up to. The entire top 11 is on the medium compound tire, and then the bottom's on the hards. Interesting. Okay. Right. Well, apart from one and outside the top 11, that's all not on the mediums, or that's not on the medium tires, I should say. That is on the medium tire. Is Travas. But yeah, Coral from Tom, Surf, Nander, Lil Mick, Subfalime, JM, Sergeant Bill, Craig, Professor Phil, and Take Her Easy. Those are the drivers on the medium tire. Then Honeybee is the first driver on the hards, same with Sparty. Travas is on the mediums, Black Bola is on the hards, along with Country Dawn. Then Grapner, Miles Strike, Laquito, and Style Harmony. 2 Red Bulls at the back of the grid. Laquito, of course, got disqualified during the quali session for parking at turn 2, and Style Harmony got a 5-place penalty after having a collision with Take Her Easy. So yeah, pretty much the majority of drivers are on the mediums, and then yeah, just very few on the hards. That was what I was totally expecting, but hey, that's what we got. I don't think we'll need the tire graphic either. We just gotta remember that the top 11 are on the mediums and Travas on the mediums. Everyone else, though, outside of that, is on the hards. Probably the one track as well that I can get a proper view of the lights as well. Funny enough. Yeah, because anytime you look at the lights, or try to look for the lights in this game, they tend to have a shot that faces at the back of the grid, facing towards the lights. Yeah, but no, this is where you want it to be, basically. Miles Strike disqualified for not parking his car correctly on the grid. Alright, well, here we go. I think we should be all lined up, ready to go. Got 5 red lights in front of us. 35 laps to get to. And we are underway here in Montreal. It's a good start from Coral as he heads up towards the first corner. Gets a nice, decent little start. Oh, kind of a little bit of turn 1 seemed to be his teammate there of Surf as they head around turns 1 and 2. Everyone gets through relatively fine. Side by side between Nander and Surf as they head through turns 3 and 4. Oh, that's tight, but everyone gets relatively okay. Oh, there's a little bit of shuffling going on the back as well. I think that might have been the AlphaTauri J that might have had a bit of trouble for what it looked like hanging through that bit of sequence of corners. Oh, that's a big crash! Big crash. That's Sergeant Bill out of the race. And we got a virtual safety car. He lost that back end big time at the exit of turn 7 and just careered into the left side wall. As a result, we now got a virtual safety car. Everyone gets neutralized. And yeah, that's pretty much how it all stands out. Yeah, you gotta keep your eyes on the Delta as well. You don't want to get a drive-through penalty in this situation as well. Especially this being the first lap. Laquio has retired from the what has he done? Huh? Oh, he's parked on the... Okay, so he's just voluntarily retired. Okay. I don't know why he's done that. Oh, we got 3 drive-thrus, I think. Yep, and it's the leaders that get the drive-thrus. Coral, Surf, and Nander have got drive-thru penalties for speed under the virtual safety car, as we're now back under green flag conditions. JM is out of the race. He's now crashed. Virtual safety car has come out for the second time. Jeez, another virtual safety car already. And we just ended the first lap. And we already have 3 retirements as well. Well, bad news is for Coral and Surf and Nander is that they cannot serve the drive-through penalty yet. They have to wait until green flag conditions to do so. That is the rules. Yeah, you can't serve your drive-throughs under yellows. Alright, we're back on the green again as well. And there goes the 3 cars coming into the pit lane. Coral, Surf, and Nander in to serve their drive-through penalties. That just gives Tom a little bit of a green light, pretty much, to try to break away. So that's an Alpha 1-2 with him and Lil Mick. Subfalime in third, followed by Craig now and Professor Phil. Yeah, look at that. The lead is all the way down to pretty much at the back of the... Oh my goodness! The back of the order. There was a moment there between Grabner and I think... Well, one of the Williams. It might have been Surf, I believe. As he cuts all the grass. Star Army just has nowhere to go. He had to avoid the Ferrari at all costs. Up towards now the hairpin here. 1.6 seconds separating the 2 Alfa Romeos. Subfalime though will get DRS, I believe. Down this casino straight. Yes, he will. He'll try to close the gap as best he can. That might be a bit difficult though at the moment, because he's also got a McLaren that's right behind him, who seems pretty quick here, Craig. Well, he had a bit of long legs there. Craig sets the fast lap of the race with a 1:14.0. Travar overtakes Honeybee, that's for P7 of the race. Oh, apparently there was something in the comments I did not see. Apparently Coral was mentioning about some sort of desync issue. Doesn't look like there's any desync on my screen, but... Yellows again. Follow spun. Oh, he's completely destroyed his front wing too. Exit of turn 7. And there is a safety car that has been deployed. So the safety car doesn't come out because of 2 retirements. It becomes a safety car because of Haas destroying his front wing. You can't get back in the game, Liquido. Yeah, because you left the session. It's done the glitch where it's retired you. So yeah, you can't get back in your car. I'm sorry. Travail into the pits. Well, what will be his first stop? He'll try to go on to, what, a set of hards, I assume? Yeah, to the end of the race, maybe. Although I did see 2 stops that happened last night, which I was a bit surprised by. Yeah, see, look where you can't get in. After you desynced, it retired you. It's that stupid glitch where if you desync from the session, yeah, it basically DNFs you. So yeah, you're officially out of the race, unfortunately. I know, I booted you out. I know. But like I said, there's nothing I can literally do. There's nothing Sparky can do, really, because we're in the middle of a race. So we've had 2 VSCs and a safety car after just 4 laps. So we're going to have a bit of a wait then because Black Ball needs to catch up to the rest of the field. But still, I find that so ironic. 2 times we had a crash from Sergeant Bill and Jay. They don't cause safety cars, but apparently a Haas destroying front wing causes a safety car. I don't know. What do I know about all that, I guess? Yeah, I get you there. Canada also is not my favorite track either. I truly despise this place. Yeah, it's not a fun track at all. Although in this game, for whatever reason, I'm actually pretty decent around here. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. It's a hard track to pass in some aspects. And the only way you can literally try to keep up is with DRS trains. Yeah, if you're not in the DRS train, well, you're kind of been running out of luck. Nana goes back into the pits, this time to change tires from what it seems. That seems like a fair call to do after getting a drive fit penalty. So he'll go on to the hard tires, maybe try to carry them to the end. Or maybe do a 2-stop, we'll wait and see. I'll be honest too, I would not be surprised if this wasn't the last safety car either. I think I remember the Americas series, on Tuesday that is, we had about, what, 4 safety cars in that entire race? In Spain of all places. Like, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same story here. I think last time, if I remember, we had, what, 1 safety car for a Pacific Open? Something like that. I don't know. Alright, well, the safety car is coming back into the pits, so Tom will lead the field then. Nick is leaving an awful lot of gap between himself and his teammate. You want to be close as possible. I think Tom's going from what it looks like to me. Yeah, he's going. Alright, we're back under green once again here in Montreal. On to lap 8 of 35. Tom leads the way, followed by Subfeline, Greg, and Professor Phil. Looked like he got caught sleeping in that restart. Surf and Miles Strike side by side with each other heading through turn 2. Oh, Miles Strike has a big moment at the exit of turn 2. Slots a bit. Oh! He slots it behind one Williams, but then nearly chopped off the nose of the other one. That's Coral that had to get back from him. Yeah, that Mercedes does not look very good in some exit of slow corners. It looks like it's quite taily. Up towards now the chicane. Missing the apex quite a bit. Coral should get the move done. He's got a lot more pace compared to Miles. Big lockup as well from the Mercedes. And down to the inside goes the Williams. There you go, he now moves up into 11th position. Barty, not close enough to do anything against Honeybee. Wisely decides to stay back. That's fair enough. Meanwhile, though, got a bit of a top 5 train forming. Surf and Country Dawn side by side. That's now Surf ahead of the Aston Martin for 9th. Good little solid move there from the Williams driver. Next target for him will be Sparty in the Ferrari. Up towards turn 6. Yeah, can't do anything there. No DRS yet. That'll be enabled, of course, on the next lap. As they head around the right hand of 7 up towards turns 8 and 9. I love the aerial shot, though, looking over this little bit of the track. Looking over the St. Lawrence River as well. It looks pretty cool. Surf looking really close, but not close enough. Ooh. Nowhere through against the Ferrari. Craig, though, getting closer to Subfalime. Will he line up a pass? No, he's not close enough. Making the way through the chicane. Not a great run from the Haas, but not a great run from the McLaren either. His DRS is now enabled again. Trava's overtaking his teammate. Now Surf, it's nearly 3 wide. Hey, up towards turn 1. It's Honey B down the inside, or Country Dawn, I should say, down the inside. And the Williams goes off the grass in the process. That's Surf going off the grass. Through goes Coral and through goes Style and Harmony. After that whole incident there, going 3 wide into turn 1. Unfortunately, that Williams came out the short end of the stick. Alright, so Craig will definitely line up a move here on Professor Phil. Oh, sorry. Craig will line up a move on Subfalime. Sorry. That's Professor Phil behind him. Well, Subfalime will definitely get him through. Craig will get through Subfalime relatively easy. I am getting the names all mixed up. The Alphas, though, swapped places, too. Mick has now moved up to P1 ahead of his teammate. That was before the Wall of Champions. Side-by-side action here, Coral and Don up towards turn 1. Lock up there from the Williams. Oh, that's contact! A little bit of contact between the Aston and the Williams. But they both get through alright. Now they'll try to go for Sparty. Nander and Professor Phil got 3-second penalties in the process. As Nander gets yellow flags, well, that's because he spun at turn 5. Any damage from him? I can't see from that vantage point. I don't think he's got damage. Oh no, he does. He's got a missing end plate on the right hand side of his car. Meanwhile, got a 5-car train, 2 Alphas, Craig, Subfalime, and Professor Phil. Down towards the casino straight. Oh, it seems like Craig doesn't have DRS. He must have not been under a second of the detection zone. So he's going to lose a bit of time to the 2 Alfa Romeos. Towards turn 1, nothing Tom will do here. Style Harmony losing spots, yellows. Oh, he spun! Full of champions, he's lost like 3 places as Cole now moves through ahead of Sparty at turn 1. Nando goes into the pit lane to replace his front wing. And has elected to retire from the session. Oh dear, rough race for him, for sure. Now it's the Alpha swapping places again. That's now Tom now taking back the race lead before turn 8. Craig trying everything he can to get in that 1-second range. Well, I don't think, though, he'll get DRS on this occasion. He wasn't under a second at that time. Really deep on the brakes. Yeah, it's not going to mean much of anything. Surf did get a penalty as well, unfortunately for his sake. Meanwhile, the battle for the 3rd place spot. Nothing doing here from Subfalime or Professor Phil. They're just following Craig, but this time it's looking like a whole different story. Oh, Craig really goes deep on the brakes there into turn 1. Really breaks deep. Trying to defend everything he can against Subfalime. He does so. Manfred really deep on the brakes. Stays in 3rd, at least for now. Yeah, with that little bell, though, that's kind of allowing these two to pull away even more. Yeah, nothing doing here to turn 11, except for a bit of plume of smoke, probably coming from the McLaren from locking up. Swap of places. Mick has changed places with his teammate for the lead, and Stuffalime now has overtaken the McLaren for P3. And he'll defend him here on the main straightaway because he's got DRS. Dawn overtaking Surf at turn 13 and 14. Surf has really dropped back as well because he's going to lose the position to Black Bola. It goes, I thought it would nearly hit the back of the Aston, in all fairness. He was fairly close. He's got better tires too. I think he's got better tires if I remember correctly. Round the outside he goes. Oh, nice little lovely move there from Black Bola. He's now moved up into 10th. Yeah, he was starting on the hard compound tire. He's on the mediums, of course. So he's got the better grip compared to some of the rivals around him. Here comes the Williams. Down the inside he goes on the Aston Martin. And Surf just about gets the position done, but not fully. A little bit of weaving, trying to block him off as best he can so that the Aston Martin can't get DRS ahead of him. As Coral now overtakes Take It Easy, Professor Phil overtakes Subfalime. And also Craig's now moved back into 3rd. That must have happened a little bit ago as well when I wasn't looking. Yeah, it's right now just seems like we're having a little bit of gaps that are starting to form here between everybody. That's something you typically see here in Canada. Even if it is unequal performance, it's still the same story. Bala going down the inside, gets the move done before turn 3. Yeah, not much that the Williams can do. He's probably struggling a bit on those tires, I imagine. You know, it's back at ahead of Surf. Surf gets ahead of Black Baller. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Oh, but goes way deep. Blocks up there into turn 11. As Phil now moves up ahead of Craig. That's for 3rd. Oh, yeah, for 3rd position. Barty overtakes Sonny B there for 8th. And Bola gets ahead of Surf. Oh my goodness, that's a big time damage there from the Williams. Runs into the back of the Haas. Oh my goodness. The whole front wing just completely exploded. Yellow flags. Oh, that's Craig that spun. Turn 4. He was fighting for the 3rd place position. As he made a mistake, or was there contact involved? And now there's more yellow flags at the back. That's for Grabner. Oh my... Yeah, thank goodness ghosting kicked in. But if that wasn't the case, he would have had 2 of those cars T-bone him. Surprised that wasn't a VSC, but in fairness, that was lead up to the pit lane. Speaking of that, Tom goes in. For what will be his first stop. Phil is in as well. So Lil Mick stays out for a little bit longer. Of course he has to, because, yeah, they don't want to double stack at Alfa Romeo. Cephaline, Take It Easy, Sparry, that's your top 5 at the moment. Oh, and a bit of a moment there for Money B. The exit of turn 2. Yellows again. Travas is out of incident. And obviously resets the track. That's going to be an automatic penalty because you are not allowed to do that. Tom gets a penalty, and someone else got a penalty as well. I couldn't quite see who that first one was. Yeah, that's obviously the biggest no-no, is you cannot reset the track. That's not allowed. Unless you are in big trouble, like say that you are stuck, then yeah. I totally get it. Coyle goes into the pits for the second time, but this time to get his tires changed, not for a drive-through. Coyle goes onto a set of hard compound tires that should easily carry him to the end of the race. He's going to come out from what it looks like just behind Travas. And a virtual safety car has been deployed. What for this time? Is that for the Ferrari? Yeah, it is. He's missing an end plate. Oh, alright. Well, this might open the door a little bit for Mick, as Grapper's been cursed by the pit lane glitch there. Yeah, it happened to Plebs last night, where he entered the pits during a virtual safety car. It was a safety car, I can't remember. And, yeah, when you enter the pits, for whatever reason, the game gives you a drive-through penalty. So, this virtual safety car really has played into the hands of Lil Mick here. Because now he can get onto the pits, get onto a fresh set of tires. But not only that, look where his teammate is. Yeah, he's just at the chicane. So Lil Mick could possibly still maintain the lead by the time he gets back out. Travas drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. We're back under green. As Tom goes down the inside of Bola, he goes up into second. Lil Mick also has maintained his lead. What would have been an undercut for Tom didn't exactly work. Yeah, so Grabner and Travas now have got drive-through penalties. Coyle overtakes sub for line, that's for P6. Yeah, that really played into the hands of Lil Mick. Yeah, do you remember when it was Imola 2020 where Ocon had his mechanical problem and Bottas pitted well before that problem happened from Ocon's car, and then because of that it released a virtual safety car, and then Hamilton, who didn't pit at the time, who probably would have been behind Bottas if the race were under green, benefited under the virtual safety car. Kind of is this sort of situation here with the two Alfa Romeos. Coyle now moves ahead of Take Her Easy, that's for P5. He'll try to get up to Professor Phil if he can. Travas goes in to serve his drive-through penalty that he got for speeding under the virtual safety car. Surf sets the fast lap 1:13.6. He's currently in 12th. Phil on the back of Bola here. Bola in a bit of trouble with those old medium tires. 15 laps he's done on those things. He's going to get swamped here in a minute by an Alpine and probably by a Williams. Yeah, not much that Bola can do against Professor Phil. But he has a lot of speed carrying up towards the hairpin. Towards turn 11 to the outside. But he doesn't have the grip. Oh, and I think Coyle's been tagged. Has he, or did he lose it? I think he might have lost it, actually. Considering how far Take Her Easy was. Phil defending hard, but Bola says, yeah, I'll take the position back. I don't care how old my tires are. And that's just really annoying him, because now look who goes through. It's Coyle that goes through. Up to 4th, maybe 5th. If he can get by Bola. And down the inside as well goes Take Her Easy. We'll go to the outside. Phil's been kind of shafted here from what it seems like. And Bull nearly loses the back end. Hanging out of turn 2, up towards turns 3 and 4. Cannot find a way against the Haas, but he's in trouble with another one as Subflime's right behind. Yeah, Bola just completely shafted Professor Phil. I don't think he'll be too happy about that. Oh, he definitely is not! Oh my goodness! Wow. Yeah, that's a slam dunk penalty. I know I'm not Stewart, but that's definitely slam dunk. Goes down the inside and just completely takes both of them off the racetrack. That was completely unnecessary. I get you're frustrated, but no need to do that. That's just completely poor, really poor from Professor Phil. Yeah. It doesn't matter how old anyone's tires are. Even if they're still in the lead lap, they have the right to race as hard as they want to. You just have to find your way around. Yeah, not do stupid moves like that. That was completely stupid. Yeah, and, oh, ball got damaged in that process too. Yep, I could see Professor Phil getting in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, just completely unnecessary. Honeybee, I would say, is Professor Phil there for P7. Yeah, he didn't sustain any damage from that contact. What it seems like, too. Tom, meanwhile, though, is gaining slowly on his teammate. The gap after the pit cycle during the virtual safety car was about over 3.5 seconds. It's now 1.8. Yeah, he's slowly gaining on his teammate. Coral, though, after a drive-through penalty, though, has done very well indeed. Recovering up to P3. This is the battle for P4 here. Take it easy, Subflime and Sparty, who's, well, unsurprisingly, has, oh my goodness! Contact between him and, how on earth have you done that on the straights? Jesus, whipped. Yellow flags, what was that for? There were yellow flags in Sector 1. I was gonna say that Sparty was gonna overtake the Haas with ease because he's in a faster car. I'm gonna guess that might have been for his teammate that caused the yellow flags. Considering that is his teammate in front of Take It Easy. Well, Grabner, sorry. He definitely needs to get out of the way, because, well, if he's got the blue flags indicated, he needs to get out of the way. Yep. Doesn't matter if ghosting's on, those rules still apply. And you can see the yellow or the blue lights being indicated for him. And meanwhile, the two Alfa Romeos still leading the way, but Tom is closing in on his teammate. Gap right now sits at 1.4. Grapner still hasn't got out of the way. He needs to get out of the way. Through 3 and 4. Oh, I hate when people do this, honestly. 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. Like, how on earth do you not know these sort of rules? It's like literally the most basic rules. Even the game tells you this. There you go. Take her easy. Now moves ahead. Sparty gets a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Yeah, he's just being a complete distraction from what it seems. It's just basic rules etiquette. Like, you got a blue flag, it tells you get the hell out of the way. Simple as that. But that's how it is in league racing. Apparently, no one just knows what flags are. They just go by how they want to, I guess. Honeybee and Subfeline side by side through turn 2, and Subfeline gets ahead up to P6. P6. And cuts the corner there. Gets a penalty as well for good measure. And now the two alphas are under a second from one another. Has Tom got DRS here? No, he does not. Yellows. Yellows, yellows, yellows. That's at turn 2. That's for Miles. He must have had a spin, I think. Well, there goes Sparty on Take Her Easy. Moves himself up into 4th. One second though, separating the two Alfa Romeos. The one little edge though that Mick does have to Tom is that Mick does have the younger tire advantage. He pitted 2 laps later than his teammate did. And the thing I've seen in this game, as I've kind of been learning more about more and more as I go, apparently tire advantage is a really big thing in this game. Yeah, the younger your tire is, the better grip you'll have, and more pace you'll have as well. And Tom is going to get DRS here on this occasion, so he's going to close the gap on his teammate. Also, look at the battery situation for everybody, because I have seen some people flashing as of recently. Hickory's got, well, he's less than 10%. Miles has got a penalty. And there goes the McLaren ahead of the Ferrari, moves up into 4th place again. Meanwhile, the top 2 separated by 3.5 tenths. Alright, 6 tenths the margin. DRS open again for Tom. Oh, that's contact. That's contact between Honeybee and Subfeline. There goes Sparty ahead. And Tom is now taking back the race lead. Sparty moves up back into 4th. Honeybee still keeps his position. Might allow Cray to catch up because he's on the soft tire. Professor Phil has really fallen off. a little bit on his pace. Meanwhile, though, yep, you got the battle between these two alphas once again. Doesn't mean this is necessarily over, I don't think. Smick still got DRS. Still in some range to at least fight against him. Not close enough for Spark. Oh! Losing the rear there, that was the McLaren of Take Her Easy. Rejoins the lead safely as best he could. Fortunately for him, didn't lose a spot, but yeah, a little bit of a costly mistake. Meanwhile, though, up front, we're on to lap 30 of 35. 6 more laps to go in this race. Craig, 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. Up towards turn 1. Country Dawn, the 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. As Honeybee clips the grass there at turns 3 and 4. They've taken it easy, we'll line up a move here. Down the casino straight. It's kind of been a back and forth battle for 4th. Well, there you go, another position change for 4th. Take Her Easy takes that position back. He moves back up into 4th. Tom is also breaking away a little bit. The gap's now 1 second, separating between him and his teammate. Coral also is slowly gaining, but will he have enough time to catch? He's almost around the same age of tires as the 2 Alfa Romeos. Around the left-hander and the right of turn 6 and 7. Up towards turn 8 and 9. Oh, let me guess. We're probably going to have another change of position for 4th, I assume. Between Take Her Easy and Sparty. Probably would not be a shock whatsoever. Now would it? To the right side, to the right-handed hairpin. Where I will have DRS staying up towards turn 13 and 14. Really do anything here? Not quite close enough. Out of the chicane. Surprisingly, no change of position. They all stay the same. Funny enough. Yeah, they pretty much stay where they are. Girl, though, is slowly gaining on this battle. Sector 2 yellows. What's that for? Mile strike? Yeah, it's miles. Moment there at the exit of turn 7. That is having a really difficult race here in Montreal. Yeah, him and his teammate have had a difficult race. Alright, 3 more laps to go. Tom still maintaining the lead ahead of his teammate. Half a second, but Coral slowly creeping in. Take Her Easy still leading this train. He doesn't have a penalty, actually. Sparty does have a penalty. Honeybee doesn't have a penalty, so Sparty could lose a spot here. Here are your penalty situations. A lot of 3-second penalties. 1 6-second, that's for Craig, and the worst of them all, as Harmony goes into the pits. Miles Strike has the worst out of anybody with 12 seconds with the time penalties, down at 15th. At the rate it's going, I think he'll still score at least that point. Top 15, of course, do score points in Race Spec. Coral right behind, not too far away. Yellow flags. What's again this for? Oh, is that for Miles? Yep, it is. Of course it is. The gap right now is 1.2 between Mick and Coral. There's 2 more laps to go. The Alphas want to fight for the final lap. They don't want to get Coral into the mix. They need to not fight and wait until the final lap if they want to duke it all out. But they got to play this smart. Well, that's not going to happen because it looks like Coral's now calling to the back of Little Mick for DRS. So now Coral's in the mix. And these 3 have 3-second penalties. So this is a fair fight for the race win. Coral's got DRS, but doesn't have the battery life compared to the top 2. Out of the chicane up towards the main straightaway. We now begin the final lap of the race. It's a 3-way fight. Sparty also takes 4th place away from Take Her Easy. Through turns 1, 2, and 3. The battle for the race win. Tom just needs to keep his nose clean, not make any mistakes. He's got the battery life to play with. Could also use his teammate to help him block off Coral. Yeah, what a drive from Coral, though, after having a drive-through penalty. Getting back up into 3rd place. And now in a spot for potentially winning here in Canada. Up towards the hairpin we come. Tom still leads, 6.5 tenths is the margin. But he's going to have his teammate behind, and Coral with DRS. They're going to be dumping the battery down the casino straights. DRS wide open. Look at the exit that Little Mick had. A lot of exit speed, not close enough though. 1 more straight to go. It's pretty much set in stone, it seems. Tom will win here in Montreal. The fleur-de-lis flies high. He wins here in Montreal in his home race. Mick 2nd, Coral 3rd. Further back, though, it's going to be Take Her Easy. They'll take 4th away from Sparty, and 5th as well will be taken away as Honeybee gets to 5th place. Sparty 6th, Suffalime 7th, Craig 8th, Surf 9th, Professor Phil 10th, Country Don in 11th, and Travail will finish 12th, Harmony 13th, Bola 14th, Grabner will finish being a lap down. Yeah, Coral tried to do a late charge, but unfortunately it just wasn't good enough. He needed probably another couple more laps, and he would have had maybe a chance to win this race. Yeah, he was just gaining slowly but surely. Yeah, great recovery. I will give him credit for that. I probably would say driver of the day is deserved. Yeah, after getting the drive-through penalty, getting a podium, that's definitely a deserved driver of the day vote there. But hey, in the end though, it's Tom that wins here in Montreal. Little Mick finishing in second, and yeah, like I mentioned, Coral in third. But yeah, good day for Alfa Romeo. 1-2 finish for Alfa Romeo. Those three were pretty much in a class of their own, pretty much. I'll be honest, I would not be surprised if that were the case throughout the entire season. Maybe if the AlphaTaurs can get their stuff together, maybe we could see them in the mix. But there are your final results here. Tom wins, Mick second, Coral third, Take Her Easy, Honeybee, Sparty, Subfalime, Craig, Surf, Professor Phil, Country Dawn, Trova, Cell Harmony, Black Ball, Miles Strike, Grafner, Nander, JM, Luquido, and Sergeant Bill rounds it all off. And another day goes by again. I'm getting tired already from this commentary stuff too. Commentated late last night for Open Series, and yeah, I had to do this again today. Oh, failed to join the session. Well, whatever, I was leaving anyway. Well, that wraps it all up, I suppose. Congratulations to Tom and to Mick on an Alpha 1-2. Coral did a great job on the recovery, but it just wasn't enough to beat out the Alfa Romeos today. They look like you three pretty much were in a class of your own compared to everybody else. I think with that though, it's time to wrap up the stream here. Excuse me, here. I have been K1997. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you back once again for round 3 of the championship at the Bahrain International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.